Today Dong Fu invites you to listen to the Dhammapada, one of the Dharma of Buddha Shakyamuni. The 60-second verses from the Buddhist scriptures on the YouTube channel Tien Thai in the USA. The verse says, "The fool worries, thinking, I have sons, I have wealth. Indeed, when he himself is not his own, whence are sons? Whence is wealth?" This teaching is gentle, yet it is very deep. The Buddha speaks to the human heart, a heart that is always grasping, always clinging, always worrying about what it thinks belongs to it. The fool clings to family, to children, to wealth, to possessions, believing that they will protect him. But the Buddha reminds us, even our own body is not truly ours. If we are not our own, how can children or wealth be our true possession? Look deeply into this truth. The body is born, it grows old, it gets sick, and one day it dies. The body does not belong to us. It follows the law of impermanence. We may call it mine, but in reality, it is only a temporary gathering of causes and conditions. Just as clouds gather and disperse, so too this body gathers for a time and then disperses. If we do not even own this body, how can we claim sons or wealth as ours? Sons are born, they grow, they change, they leave. They too follow their own causes and conditions. Wealth comes and goes. It rises and falls. It can vanish in a single night. It too follows causes and conditions. Nothing stands still. Nothing is permanent. The fool does not see this. He thinks, I have sons. I have wealth. He worries about protecting them. He worries about losing them. He worries day and night. Yet all his worries cannot stop change. They cannot stop impermanence. They cannot stop death. The wise one sees differently. The wise understands. Nothing belongs to me. Not even this body. Not even this life. The wise does not cling. The wise does not build identity around possessions or family. The wise cultivates the inner treasure. The treasure of virtue, the treasure of wisdom, the treasure of compassion. When the heart clings to wealth, it suffers when wealth is lost. When the heart clings to children, it suffers when children leave. When the heart clings to the body, it suffers when the body grows old. The Buddha's teaching frees us from this suffering. He shows us that nothing is truly ours. He shows us that peace comes not from possession, but from letting go. Let us reflect on this carefully. The fool says, I have sons, but can he keep them? Can he control their lives? Can he prevent their suffering? No. Each being has its own karma. Each being has its own path. The fool says, I have wealth, but can he hold it forever? Can he take it with him when he dies? No. Wealth is like dust on the wind. It gathers for a while. Then it scatters. The heart that clings is never at peace. The mind that grasps is always restless. The fool spends his life protecting what cannot be kept. The wise spends his life cultivating what cannot be lost. Virtue cannot be lost. Wisdom cannot be stolen. Compassion cannot be destroyed. These are the true treasures of life. These are the companions that follow us beyond birth and death. Therefore the Buddha teaches, do not worry about sons and wealth. Do not cling to what is not yours. Learn to be your own. Learn to master your own mind. Learn to cultivate your own heart. When you are your own, then no worry can disturb you. When you are your own, then no loss can shake you. When you are your own, then you are free. To be your own means to live in mindfulness, to walk each step with awareness, to breathe each breath with clarity, to speak each word with compassion, to act each deed with wisdom. In this way the heart becomes steady. In this way the mind becomes clear. In this way you are no longer the fool who worries, but the wise who rests in peace. When the fool says, "I have sons, I have wealth," he is lost in illusion. When the wise says, "Nothing is mine, everything is impermanent," he is free in truth. The Buddha's words are like a lamp in the darkness. They shine light upon the illusions that we mistake as real. The fool says, "I have sons, I have wealth." Yet the Buddha shows us, even the body that says these words is not truly ours. If this body is not ours, how can we claim anything beyond it? Look at the body carefully. This body is formed from the elements of earth, water, fire, and air. We borrow these elements from nature. We cannot hold them forever. One day they return to the earth. One day they scatter. When the body returns to the earth, who is there to say, "These are my sons, this is my wealth"? To cling to wealth is like trying to hold water in a clenched fist. The tighter you hold, the faster it slips away. To cling to sons is like trying to bind the wind with ropes. The more you try, the more you see its freedom. Wealth and children are not possessions. They are conditions. They come and go according to karma. The fool is restless. He thinks, "My wealth is too little. I must earn more. My wealth is too much. I must protect it. My sons are too young. I must worry for them. My sons are grown. I must still worry for them." From birth to death the fool never rests. His mind is bound by worry. The wise understands. Wealth comes and goes. Children come and go. The body comes and goes. Worry cannot stop the flow of impermanence. The wise rests in letting go. The wise cultivates the mind. The wise plants seeds of compassion and mindfulness. When wealth is gained, the fool clings. When wealth is lost, the fool cries. When children succeed, the fool clings. When children fail, the fool despairs. The wise rejoices when blessings arise, but does not cling. The wise accepts when loss comes, but does not despair, because the wise knows. All things change. All things pass. Let us reflect deeply. What is the meaning of self? The fool says, "This is mine." But who is the one who owns? When we look closely, we see only body and mind. We see only conditions arising and passing. The body is changing every moment. The mind is flowing like a river. Where is the solid self? Where is the permanent owner? When the Buddha says, "The fool worries about sons and wealth," he is pointing to this illusion of ownership. We say, "My body, my son, my wealth." But when death comes, can we take them with us? The body is left behind. Wealth is left behind. Even the name is left behind. Sons and daughters follow their own path. Nothing belongs to us. The fool resists this truth. He builds walls of possession. He ties knots of attachment. But the current of impermanence flows on. Walls collapse. Knots unravel. Nothing can resist the truth of change. The wise does not resist. The wise flows with the river. The wise lets go of clinging. The wise embraces impermanence. For the wise, impermanence is not sorrow. Impermanence is freedom. Because everything changes. We are not bound. Because nothing is permanent. We are not chained. To practice Dharma is to train the mind to see clearly, to look beyond the illusion of mind, to let go of the burden of possession, to live with compassion and generosity. Instead of clinging to sons and wealth, we care for them with love, but without ownership, without attachment, without worry. Wealth is not to be rejected. Sons are not to be abandoned, but they are to be seen with wisdom. Wealth is a tool for generosity. Sons are beings with their own karma. We can love them, but we cannot control them. We can support them, but we cannot own them. The fool clings and suffers. The wise loves and lets go. This is the middle path. This is the way of peace. Let us contemplate an image. A traveler comes to a river. He gathers wood. He builds a raft. He crosses safely. When he reaches the other side, does he carry the raft on his head, or does he leave it behind? The fool clings to the raft. He carries it as a burden. The wise is grateful to the raft, but he leaves it behind. So too with wealth. So too with children. They are like the raft. They help us cross, but they are not ours to cling to. Gratitude without attachment. Care without ownership. This is the wisdom of the Buddha. The Buddha teaches us to cultivate the inner refuge. When we have mindfulness, we are rich. When we have compassion, we are wealthy. When we have wisdom, we are secure. These treasures cannot be stolen. They cannot decay. They cannot vanish in a night. They go with us beyond this life. Therefore the wise invests in the inner wealth. The fool invests in the outer wealth. The fool suffers loss. The wise finds freedom. The Buddha says, the fool worries, thinking, I have sons, I have wealth, but even he himself is not his own. Whence are sons? Whence is wealth? This verse invites us to see beyond the surface. It invites us to see the truth of non-self. In daily life, we speak of my body, my child, my wealth. But are these truly ours? Let us first reflect on the body. From birth until now, this body has changed countless times. The infant becomes a child. The child becomes a youth. The youth becomes an adult. The adult grows old. Every 7 years the cells of the body are renewed. Which body is truly ours? The baby's body, the youth's body, the old body. All are passing. None can be held. If even the body is not truly ours, how then can children be ours? How then can wealth be ours? Children are born with their own karma. They walk their own path. Parents may guide, but cannot decide their destiny. Parents may love, but cannot control their choices. Wealth is even more fleeting. Gold and silver can vanish. Houses can collapse. Fields can dry. Fortunes can turn in a single night. How can such unstable things be called ours? The fool is blind to this truth. He lives in a dream. He says, "This is mine." He grasps tightly, but the tighter he grasps, the greater the suffering when loss comes. The wise sees clearly. The wise understands that nothing is truly owned. The wise uses wealth as a means of generosity. The wise loves children without clinging. The wise cares for the body with mindfulness, but does not mistake it for a permanent self. There is a parable. A rich man gathered much gold. He hid it in the earth. Each day he visited his treasure. He counted his coins. He said, "This is mine. This is my security." But one day thieves discovered the hiding place. They carried the gold away. The rich man fell into despair. He wept and wailed. He could not eat. He could not sleep. The Buddha said, "Better to use wealth for good than to hoard it. Better to share wealth with the hungry than to bury it in the ground." Wealth used with generosity brings happiness. Wealth clung to with greed brings sorrow. Another parable is told of a mother who clung to her only son. She worried day and night. She feared his illness. She feared his death. But one day the child fell ill and passed away. The mother lost her mind. She wandered the streets carrying the child's body. She cried, "Give me medicine for my son." The Buddha met her with compassion. He asked her to find mustard seeds from a house that had never known death. She went from door to door, but in every house she found sorrow. In every house someone had died. At last she returned to the Buddha. She bowed. She understood. Death comes to all. Nothing can be kept forever. The Buddha taught her. To see impermanence is to awaken. To release clinging is to find peace. From then on, she practiced the Dharma. Her grief dissolved. Her heart opened to compassion. These stories remind us. When we cling, we suffer. When we let go, we find freedom. But what does it mean to let go? Letting go does not mean abandonment. Letting go does not mean neglect. To let go is to love without chains, to care without ownership, to guide without control, to support without attachment. Parents can love children deeply, but with wisdom they see. Children are not possessions. They are travelers walking beside us for a time. Parents can guide with kindness, but cannot prevent the unfolding of karma. Parents can offer shelter, but must also let the child grow wings. Wealth can be used with joy, but with wisdom we see. Wealth is not a permanent refuge. It is a tool for practice. It is a tool for compassion. It can build temples. It can feed the hungry. It can comfort the sick, but it cannot protect us from death. When the fool says, "I have sons, I have wealth," he is building a house on sand. The waves of impermanence will wash it away. When the wise says, "I have mindfulness, I have compassion," he is building a house on rock. No storm can shake it. The true wealth is the wealth of virtue. The true sons and daughters are the wholesome qualities of the mind. Loving kindness, compassion, joy, equanimity. These are the children that remain with us, even beyond death. Let us contemplate again. If the body is not our own, who are we? We are like a flame, fed by conditions. We are like a song, formed by notes. The flame changes with the wind. The song fades with the silence. But in each moment they arise. In each moment they pass. So too with body and mind. To cling to body and mind as self is the root of sorrow. To see them as conditions is the path of wisdom. To release the idea of mine is to walk the path of peace. The fool says, "I have sons, I have wealth. The wise says, I have nothing. Build your refuge in compassion. Build your refuge in wisdom. When you have these treasures, you are never poor. When you cultivate these qualities, you are never alone. When death comes, you will not fear, because you carry with you the wealth of the Dharma. The Buddha says, the fool worries, thinking, I have sons, I have wealth. Indeed, when he himself is not his own, whence are sons, whence is wealth? We have reflected on impermanence, on non-self, on the emptiness of ownership. Now let us bring these truths into daily life. How do we live without clinging? How do we walk the path of wisdom in the midst of family and society? First, as parents, love your children with compassion, but do not bind them with chains of possession. Recognize, they come through you, but not from you. They belong to life. They belong to their own karma. Guide them gently, but let them walk freely. Support them kindly, but let them choose their path. If they succeed, rejoice. If they stumble, encourage, but never cling. Never say, they are mine. Say instead, they are beings walking with me for a time. Second, as members of society, use wealth as a tool. Do not mistake it for security. Houses may crumble, gold may vanish, fortunes may be lost, but merit from generosity never fades. Wealth used for compassion is wealth transformed into Dharma. Wealth used for greed is wealth that poisons the heart. So share. Give to temples. Give to the poor. Give to the sick. Give to those who seek wisdom. Each act of generosity is a treasure carried beyond this life. Third, as caretakers of the body, see the body as a temporary dwelling. Care for it with mindfulness. Feed it with moderation. Rest it with kindness. Move it with awareness. But do not worship it. Do not cling to youth. Do not despair at age. Do not fear wrinkles. The body is a boat to cross the river. When the crossing is done, the boat is left behind. Fourth, as practitioners of the Dharma, cultivate inner treasures. When the fool clings to sons and wealth, he is empty-handed at death. When the wise cultivates virtue, he carries light into the next life. Let your true wealth be generosity. Let your true sons be patience. Let your true daughters be wisdom. These will follow you always. In daily life, remember the practice of letting go. Let go of harsh words. Let go of old resentments. Let go of worries about tomorrow. Let go of pride in possessions. Let go of fear of loss. Each letting go is a breath of freedom. Each release is a step toward peace. The Buddha teaches us, when clinging ends, suffering ends. When attachment fades, joy arises. When we cease to say, this is mine, we discover the vast sky of mind. When we cease to grasp, we find the gentle flow of compassion. There is a practice you may try. Each day, before sleeping, reflect, this body is not mine. This wealth is not mine. These children are not mine. Let us then live so that when death comes, we are ready. Let us live so that when the final breath leaves the body, we smile. We say, I have walked the path. I have let go of clinging. I have cultivated compassion. I have lived with mindfulness. I am free. This is the teaching of the Buddha. Gentle, clear, profound, It is not far away. It is in our breath. It is in our family. It is in our daily life. Each moment is a chance to practice. Each moment is a chance to let go. Each moment is a chance to awaken. Today Dong Fu invites you to listen to the Dhammapada, one of the Dharma of Buddha Shakyamuni. The 60-second verses from the Buddhist scriptures on the YouTube channel Tien Thai in the USA. Thank you for watching my video. Namo Amitba. I wish to bring this merit towards all disciples and sentient beings, all of whom will attain Buddhahood. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate your time.